Welcome back everyone to Phil Rider's Diaries, Phil Rider 2015. Now I know for a lot of you it's already March and you've been out on your bikes already, and some of you ride all year round, but I gave up all that nonsense when I left London, so it's purely a toy now. And so this is the first ride back. I spent the first part of the year in India, which was glorious because it was 35 degrees. I never saw a cloud for 6 weeks. Came back, went on shift, 10 minutes later, bang, snow. Thank you God, you're fucking hilarious. I'm pretty sure the whole point in going to India for 6 weeks was to avoid snow. Had a bloody good laugh that day, I bet. But it only lasted a week. And so here we are at the end of that week, and we've got a windy day but a sunny day, and I'll take those over a wet, calm day. And it's been about a year since I started doing these vlogs, so ironically enough I'm doing the same route as I started with. Although last time I wasn't following a hearse. Which poses an interesting question. I mean, what protocols do you do when following a hearse? I remember doing this in London, and basically we all just ran around it like a pack of dogs. But up here, I don't know, a little bit older, a little bit more sensible, a little bit more respectful. First ride of the year, and I've got the sports can on, and I've got a hearse and some very sad people in a car following it. So we'll quietly keep a respectable distance. Of course the bike's been laid up for a short time, not too long. I rode it right the way up until the beginning of January, so it's only been sitting still for 6 weeks. Even so, you know, you don't just get on a bike and ride it. You do a certain amount of preparation before you leave it for a couple of months. I didn't have to do it for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it might have been, but I did anyway. And when you get back on it, well, okay, you make sure the battery's charged, you have a quick look through all the essentials, all your brakes, oil, filter, make sure the coolant's topped up. Give it a good first run out, don't just turn it over for 10 minutes and then knock it off again. And so that's ideally what today is. And in all honesty, it's the only way it should be. Still got a little bit of snow on top of the mountains. Didn't get a huge amount of snow here this winter, very much the same as last year. Lots of wind, lots of rain, fairly mild, but naturally on the higher parts. Doesn't really bother me except when I'm going over the passes, and it certainly won't bother me on the motorbike, so I don't think any of the passes are that high. And as it's the first ride and the first vlog of the year, I mean, what are we hoping to do this year? Well, I think last year it was very much getting back to basics. Had been on the bike for a long time, I think it was 8 years, I said to you all. And now I've got my first year, I don't know, back under my belt, so to speak, of we won't call it regular riding, we'll call it social riding, shall we? It wasn't a day in, day out, it was maybe a couple of times a week, if that. And what did we enjoy about it, and what did we dislike? Well, I still love the bike, it's still a fabulous possession to own. It's testament that it's 17 years old, it's done 96,000 miles, and it still runs like a Swiss clock, it really does. And that gives you a certain amount of confidence. You know, they say that of the VFR, a bike that doesn't tank slap is a mental A to B weapon. Well, I'm not going to be pushing it that far, that's for sure. But it'd be nice to get out on a few longer runs, get myself into Scotland. I'm right on Scotland's doorstep. I'm only like 30 miles, 40 miles away from the Scottish borders into the Monroes. It would be a travesty if I never took the bike into Scotland. Don't mind taking it 4,500 kilometres around Europe, that's not a problem. But 50 miles up the road of Scotland, no, it always seems to be asking a bit too much. God knows why. So we're hoping to do something about that. And then of course there's Europe again. Last year I went into France and tucked into Germany for a very short time. And this year I'd like to go back into Europe again. It was expensive last time. But it's funny, at the time it's expensive, there was a lot of miles involved, it was fairly hard work in points. And now I think of it, it's like, you know what, I miss riding in Europe. I want to do that again. So there's, I won't call it a plan, it's just a direction. I just have this inkling of maybe getting a ferry into Rotterdam or something, and taking a different tack, going through the Netherlands, perhaps Belgium, Luxembourg, into the top of Germany, right through Germany. I would have liked to have done more Germany last year, but for some bizarre reason, my TomTom and all of its map updates didn't include any maps of Germany at all. And I've got a lot of friends in Germany, it'd be nice to catch up with them. And then of course you've got all the Swiss passes and Italian passes all around the Alps. I still think I want to be a more proficient rider in the corners before I do something like that. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. It'd be a good thing to do just to know, if for no other reason, just to know if you can or not. You don't have to go balls out, you don't have to scare the life out of yourself. Take 10 or 15 mile an hour off every corner you go into and just enjoy it, rather than say, hey, I did this at this speed. No, thank you. Here we go, Pooley Bridge. Okay, if he turns right then I'll probably stop the vlog, because there's no fun sitting behind these guys. Where's he going? Give me a signal. Any signal will do. Any signal you like. No? Alright, no guess. Oh, there you go, sweetheart, that's you. Pooley Bridge. We're in like the first week of March at the moment, and all through March, if the weather's nice, Easter aside, April, May, it's a lovely time to be here. Absolutely adore it. And spring, it's such an optimistic time of the year. Everyone's looking for that first bright day, that first warm sunny day. I'll take dry and windy. Right, so there's a very real possibility we're going to be following these guys all the way up to Glenridding now. So I'm going to leave it there. It's only the first vlog back, just to say hi to everyone, Happy New Year and all the rest of that nonsense. I'll catch up with you all and see you all soon.